all doing? Ollie here. Nice to see you all, and I tell you what, we're really looking forward to welcoming you back into the gym. We are open on Monday. Woohoo! 142 days of closure. So yeah, we really can't wait, and we've been working super hard behind the scenes to get this place ready to receive you back in. We have had to make an awful lot of changes to how the gym works and what all the gymnasts have got to do, and what you guys as parents are going to be doing as well to help facilitate you guys participating in gymnastic sessions again. So please watch this video. There's a lot of information in there. We understand that there's going to be a lot to think about, but if you could familiarise yourself with all of our rules before you arrive, then that would be brilliant. Many thanks, enjoy the video, and we'll see you soon. When you arrive at Axis, as you approach our car park, please stick to the left hand side and you'll see the cones indicating your entrance into the car park. As you come into our car park, take a right hand turn around the bollards, past the big tent which you'll see up in our car park, pull up in this area and then let your children out. You'll need to take a hard lock on your steering wheel down to the right to then exit our car park immediately. When you arrive into the gymnast waiting area, please follow the one-way system, observing all of the social distancing markers until you reach the hand washing station by the front door. Every gymnast will be required to wash their hands for at least 20 seconds. So soap and water and hand towels are provided. You will need to use the foot pump to get the water from the hand wash station. Any other gymnast in the queue should be observing the social distance markers. And then once the hand wash station has been vacated, the next gymnast can move to washing their hands. Please just one gymnast at a time so that we can still maintain gymnasts being socially distant from one another. There is a bin located to the right hand side of the wash station for any rubbish and hand towel waste. Upon arrival into the gym, please pick up a box which will be located on the table in the foyer area and take it to your holding room. Notices will be up on the wall letting you know which your room is. So the front room is the yellow room. Once you're in here and you've selected a chair, then you can start getting ready. So remove your shoes. If you've got any extra coats or t-shirts or anything like that that you need to take off, then it can all go in your box that you've picked up, as can your water bottle. All of your possessions should stay in the yellow box. Please make sure that you're observing social distancing all the time, and you'll see that we've got social distance markers all the way through the gym. So this gymnast is going into the red area, which is on the left hand side as you walk in through the gym. Don't worry if you're a little bit unsure as to where you need to go to. Our friendly reception team will be in place to guide you to the right place. So once again, if you can select a chair, start at the back first, get yourself ready, shoes off, any extra clothes off that you need to get ready for your session, and gather all your belongings in your plastic crate. You'll notice that our reception desk has been completely transformed into a COVID secure environment with perspex screening to allow for any face-to-face transactions to be made whilst keeping everybody as safe as possible. Unfortunately, as we have to follow government guidelines on social distancing, our changing rooms are out of order and will remain so for the duration of all of these changes. When the coach is ready, they'll make their way to the gymnast area, introduce themselves, and they'll perform a register, just making sure that all of the gymnasts are present. When everyone's happy, then the coach will ask the gymnasts to make their way to their working area, still observing all social distancing rules. You'll make your way down the gym, down the right hand side of these social distancing screens that we've had installed. Please stick within the markers. You'll make your way to your trampolines, at which point you'll put your boxes just underneath the side of the trampolines so that they're nice and out of the way. And then the coach will direct you to your spotting area. So the session will continue as normal with gymnasts rotating between their turns. And you'll notice that all of our spotters have got space indicated on the floor for them to stay throughout their session to be a spotter and to ensure that social distancing is maintained between both each other and the coach. But of course, they can move from those spots if an actual spotting role is required. At the conclusion of the session, the coach will indicate for the last gymnast to get off the trampoline. The coach will gather their belongings, then instruct the other gymnasts to gather their belongings, and then calmly and slowly make their way from the trampoline area, observing social distancing and staying away from all of the other gymnasts to our exit area. Care should be taken to follow the walkways that have clearly been marked out, and this time we are following the exit route, which is down the right hand side of our social distancing screens. Please make sure you're sticking to the identified corridor. Once you are in our exit area, you'll notice that there are no chairs. This is simply an opportunity for you to now put your shoes on, gather all of your belongings, and get ready for exiting the building. If when you come into the gym and you finish washing your hands and you've been allocated to this room, which is our yellow room for yellow groups, then once you've been gathered together, you've got all of your kit ready, and the coach will then come and gather you from that room. They'll get themselves ready with their register, with their own shoes and water bottle, etc., and then they'll instruct the gymnasts to make their way safely and slowly from that room, still observing all social distancing. And if we're running a gymnastics session, then they'll make their way onto the floor area. All of our gym groups will start on the floor, and the coach will instruct the gymnast to place their boxes against the tumble track and then take a position on one of the spots and you'll see that our gym has been marked out with socially distant spots for everybody. When the coach is happy, they'll commence their session. So the gymnastics sessions will continue as normal on the floor. When it gets time for the rotation, then the coach will indicate for the gymnast to pick their boxes up, again trying to maintain social distance at all times, and the coach will escort the gymnasts to the second area that they're going to be working in, and in this instance it's going to be the vaulting area. So care's got to be taken, particularly at this point where there are several avenues of traffic that can join together. The gymnasts will place their boxes in this hatched area, which is like a no man's land, just to try and keep social distance. The coach will make sure that the gymnasts are all in an appropriate place, and then hand sanitizing will take place for all gymnasts, just to make sure that any bugs picked up are removed prior to touching any other equipment or the floor area. Once this has happened, then the coach will recommence their session. Once the vaulting session has taken place, then the coach will instruct the gymnasts to gather their belongings back together again remaining 2 meters apart from one another. The coach will then escort the gymnasts, taking care not to coincide with any other groups, and following our one-way arrows to the beams and bars area. Again, the gymnast boxes will be placed in an appropriate location, and the coach will be sanitizing the gymnast's hands prior to that rotation commencing. So gymnasts will be split apart in an appropriate way across our beams and bars section during this rotation. If you've been assigned to one of our blue groups, as you walk in through reception, then the blue waiting area is this one here on the right hand side. So the gymnasts should congregate on this chaired area until the coach arrives in preparation for the session, at which point again they will take their register, just make sure everybody's here, and then instruct the gymnasts to gather their belongings and slowly and gently, 2 meters apart from one another, follow the coach toward the tumble track. Again, following the one-way markers that we've indicated along the gym floor. They'll then be asked to place their belongings along the tumble track wall, and as you can see, we've indicated a 2 meter marker distance all the way along the tumble track. So when the tumblers are utilizing the track from the top end all the way down to the bottom end, they'll then be socially distant as they make their way back up to the top of the track again. If you're attending one of our DMT sessions, then once you've made your way onto the gym floor and following our one-way system, you'll take a left and then into our DMT area, which is along here. As you can see, we've inserted spots on the floor to allow for appropriate 2 meter social distancing, and then from the spot up by our screens, the gymnasts can make their way all the way down the runway to the DMT to access the landing area. We ask that regardless of which group you're in or which session you're attending, that prior to attending the gym, that you do access toilet facilities to make sure that it limits the amount of toilet use whilst you're here in the building, but our toilets can be located through this door. After every one of our sessions, all of our staff are going to be engaged in a comprehensive range of cleaning. So all of the apparatus will be thoroughly cleaned down using antibacterial and antiviral cleaning products. As well as wiping down all of the apparatus, all of the floor areas, all of the end deck mats, all of the middle mats of the trampolines, and all of the landing areas on DMT and tumble will also receive a thorough mopping using an antibacterial and antiviral solution, just to make sure that all of our walkways and landing surfaces are completely clean. So as well as cleaning all of our equipment and apparatus and all of our landing areas, we're also cleaning all of the high touch, high volume areas that are part of the gym. So this includes the waiting areas, all of our chairs, things like door handles, all of our bins, the cafe area, and of course all of the toilets and the toilet waiting area. Once everyone's got all of their stuff and they're ready to leave, they'll pick their boxes back up again, and when instructed to do so by the coach, they will exit the building via this fire exit, allowing us to maintain a one-way exit in and around our building. So the coach will invite the children to put their stuff down and use the hand sanitizer that will be available by the entrance to the tent. The gymnasts will gather all of their belongings, leaving the crates in a stack. And enter the tent, at which point one of our members of staff will take charge of the gymnasts. The coaches will then pick up all of our crates. They themselves will then sanitize their hands again. So we are requesting that everybody that comes in through these doors washes their hands every time they pass through the doors. And the coach will then clean all of the crates in preparation for the next group. So as the gymnasts make their way into the tent, after they've finished their hand sanitizing, they'll be directed by a member of our staff to one of our spots, at which point they'll wait for their parents to come and pick them up. Now when the parent does arrive, if they can stop at this point here, the member of staff will then direct the appropriate gymnast to make their way to get into the car. So the parent should stay in the vehicle at all times. And then once the children have been safely secured in the car, you'll need to take a hard right round our cones. So you want a really good turning circle to be able to exit out of our car park without hitting any bollards. Easy!